It's a full moon in Swati, which is very exciting. It's coffee time though, because yeah. Cheers! Happy full moon! My name is MISHA, also known as the Barista Witch, and I'm here every week where I dive into Vedic astrology using my knowledge as a Vedic astrologer and with an element of tarot layered over your natal chart to give you a really in-depth reading about how these specific transits will be affecting you. Full moon, new moon, and if you like any of that, that sounds good to you, please turn on your notifications so you know whenever a new video drops. There's a full moon in the nakshatra of Swati, or the constellation of Libra. And I know, Western girlies, you're like, there's a full moon in Scorpio. It's not a full moon in Scorpio. It is in fact in Libra, specifically in the nakshatra of Swati. Swati occurs at 6 degrees and 40 minutes of Libra, all the way until 20 degrees and 0 minutes of Libra. In Vedic astrology and JYOTISH, we utilize the sidereal zodiac and the fixed stars. And the sidereal zodiac factors in the ecliptic, which is Earth's wobble. And that shifts 1 degree every 72 years. So technically, Western calculations are off by 24 degrees, which if one constellation is 30 degrees, you do the math. Growing up, I thought it was a Pisces, I even still rock my Pisces pendant, but I'm not, I'm a Sun Aquarius. Vedic astrology or JYOTISH, we focus on not just your sun sign, but your moon sign, because a lot of things come from that, and then your rising sign. So for my purposes, I will be focusing on rising signs and moon signs, but if you also need further proof, here is a sky map from stellarium.com, which is this interactive telescope map app situation. It's really fucking cool, but you can literally just type in real time what's happening in your location and see the placements of the planets. And if you want, you can also, I have a link in my bio for a way to calculate your sidereal chart, which will be your actual birth chart. So your planets might shift signs. I know you might have an attachment maybe to being Leo or to being a Pisces, but I promise you, uncovering the truth of your actual natal chart uncovers just so many mysteries about yourself and your true nature, and it helps to unravel the story of you a bit more. And you can also go into Stellarium and type in your birth information and look at the sky map of the day you were born and get further, confluence. So with that being said, there's a full moon in Swati! The full moon in Swati will take place April 22nd, 2024 from 5:57 p.m. to 7:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the moon is the fastest planet in our solar system. It takes about 2.5 days to move through each constellation, and that's about 1 day per nakshatra. The moon is linked to tides, is linked to farming, our emotions, the subconscious, dreams, our inner world, instinct, motherhood, nurturing. So the 15th lunar day is also known as Purnima, or a full moon, and this is a time when the moon's energy is heightened. This is an auspicious day. The air has this kind of heightened charge of the moon. I don't know if you can feel it, but it's very tangible right now. However, since there is an overabundance of lunar energy, these elements of the moon, this subconscious, inner world, dreams, emotions, sensitivity, they can be heightened. So look out for your watery friends, Cancers, Scorpios, Pisces. Look out for your watery babies, because these signs tend to be a bit more affected by the moon because the moon is already a watery planet, especially anyone with a strong Cancer placement, rising Cancer, moon in Cancer, sun in Cancer, gonna feel it. There could also be sometimes a little being weepy, crying, sometimes people menstruate often during full moons or even new moons, but there is this heightened sense of energy. And there could even be a little bit of heightened witchiness that accompanies this transit, because The moon is this intuitive, subconscious realm type of planet. From literally the dawn of time, people like worship the moon, and there's lunar practices you can do. People sow crops or harvest crops. There's so many elements of human life linked to the moons. Lunatic comes from La Luna. Statistically, there is more crimes that happen during full moons. It's crazy. And also it depends, of course, where the moon is in your chart, how it's gonna affect you, because full moon in your first house will affect you way differently than if it's in your 7th house of relationships or your 10th house of career. And today also, especially, protect yourself from negativity. This is a day when we're really susceptible to energy. So if anyone is being negative, causing drama, causing stress, not today. Negativity, out the door. We don't have time for it today. Not during a full moon. No. We're not doing that. Let's get into the nakshatra of Swati. So first of all, what is a nakshatra? In India, there is another system, there's another layer to astrology. So not just the planets, not just the houses, not just the constellations of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, there's the nakshatras. And those are 27 additional placements for the various planets. And initially in India, specifically, the moon was tracked through those fixed stars. They're all based on super cool mythology and legends. And so for every one constellation, which takes up 30 degrees of the zodiac, of the horoscope, there's about 2 and some change of a nakshatra. One nakshatra is 13 degrees and 20 minutes. So you can fit 2 nakshatras into one constellation, and then there's some hangovers. So the nakshatra of Swati is ruled by a deity named Vayu, who's also known as the god of wind. He's the fastest. He's swift, he's quick. And this nakshatra has the ability to purify, to cleanse, and it's also associated with long life. And Swati has the nickname as the outcast because of its placement and where it is in proximity to the ecliptic. It's kind of far out from the ecliptic in relation to the rest of the nakshatras. People who are born in this placement, or even the energy of it, the sense of not really belonging, there's this transient, always flowing, always moving quality and nature to this placement. And people who are born in this nakshatra tend to prefer to be alone. They tend to prefer isolation, seclusion, and they're okay with it for the most part. However, this sense of solitude, the shadow side, is just loneliness. And since Vayu is the lord of the air, there's this sense of always wanting to move, this speed, change. And this can create a sense of impulsiveness, impetuousness, just restless behavior. So if you're feeling restless during this full moon, if you're feeling this sense of just antsiness, maybe even feeling isolated, alone, it's very normal. It will pass. The moon is only going to be in Swati for 1 day, and it shall move on. One of the symbols of this nakshatra is a little sprout with like really shallow roots that has the quality like a flag in the wind. Being able to evolve quickly, adapt to changes in life, go with the flow, easy come, easy go attitude. However, the shadow side of that is there can be this non-committal quality, this anxiety, this forgetfulness, this sense of aimlessness, not having stability, not being grounded, not taking things too seriously, lack of consistency, instability. Honestly, might have to go check some of my ex's charts, because too much movement can cause a tendency to not finish projects. But when channeled properly, the winds of IU will keep you on the course of whatever your path is, whatever your goal is. So keep your destination in mind, use your best judgment, and let the winds of IU fill your sails and guide you towards manifesting your dreams. So you can't have a full moon without the sun, because a full moon occurs when the moon is directly opposite the sun. And normally I wouldn't talk about the sun in a full moon reading, but there's some things to be said about the sun right now. The sun symbolizes the soul, self-expression, our ego. It is how we orientate ourselves. It's how we find direction in life. When the sun is balanced in your life, it's magnetism, it's positive self-esteem. The sun here is in the nakshatra of Ashwini. It's in Aries, and again, I know, but it's Taurus season. I'm sorry, my Taurus babies, we're not in Taurus season. The sun is only at 10 degrees of Aries right now. Again, you can go to stellarium.com and you can look to see. So at 10 degrees of Aries, this is the strongest placement that the sun can be in. It's fucking peak exaltation, babes. So all of the sun's qualities are gonna shine bright like a diamond. But the nakshatra of Ashwini, and there's this quality of speed, quick action, fast thinking. And during this transit, two things are happening with the sun. One, it's being aspected by Saturn, so there is this like rigid sort of control that's happening. Saturn and the sun are like mutual enemies. There's fucking beef between them. So Saturn is imposing its like restrictive boundary like nature on the sun. But the sun is conjunct with Jupiter during this transit, and Jupiter and the sun are mutual friends, and so they will support each other with positive elements of their sides during this transit. Confidence will be able to be maintained at all times. Jupiter in Aries will give you this expansive quality that allows you to see the bigger picture of a situation, while the sun will shine its light on darkness and hidden things that you weren't able to see before. Wherever this is in your chart, you're going to see this expansive quality, this opening of your mind, this shedding light on the nature of things. So with the moon aspecting this, you're also getting this heightened full moon lunar quality, bestowing its benefic influence on it as well. The moon is receiving an aspect by Mars during this transit, so there is a bit of heat and fire that comes along with it that could cause heightened emotions to have a bit more of an aggressive quality. So just be mindful of that. And Jupiter won't be in Aries for another 12 years, so take advantage of this like just very spiritual, benefic time. So I have some rituals and some practices that you can do during not just this full moon, but all of the full moon. So babes, sit back, relax, literally grab your tea as I give you the tea on how to infuse everyday objects in your life with lunar energy, so you have lunar amulets to carry around to protect you and to guide you for this next lunar month, okay? Okay. First and foremost, practice mindfulness. Our psychic, mental, emotional powers are so heightened during a full moon that manifesting, babes, happens like clockwork. So if you're gonna be thinking thoughts, if your brain's gonna be doing the brain thing, let the thoughts be beneficial and positive. Instead of worrying about something or griping over something, say different affirmations to manifest things in your life. That's why I mentioned earlier to remove yourself, if possible, from toxic people or situations or conversations, because those things will spring into fruition. So instead, focus on being so intentional with your thoughts. It's the perfect opportunity to perhaps meditate, say positive affirmations, even if you just say, I am happy and healthy. That is a powerful positive affirmation, and honestly, fake it till you make it. Even if you don't believe it, fake it until you make it. So another thing you can do is make a full moon amulet. And before we even get started, I have a link in the description box for a free download for a PDF that I made on how to exactly make yourself a full moon amulet. So you can take any object, honestly, like a crystal, maybe a necklace, a piece of jewelry, maybe earrings, rings, bracelets, something that you know you can comfortably carry with you every day, because you're gonna carry this object with you from this full moon into the next full moon cycle. And when you see the full moon high in the sky and the moonlight is streaming in through your window, leave that object in your windowsill so it bathes in the moonlight. Maybe light a candle, some incense, and make an offering to the moon, asking her to please use her lunar energy to cleanse the object and to supercharge it with her lunar energy. And you will leave that object there overnight, and then in the morning, you'll take the object, you say thank you to the moon, and then you carry it around with you for the next lunar cycle. And I recommend that in between days, like when you go to bed, to maybe put that object somewhere sacred. Maybe you have a little altar, but don't just kind of toss it to the side, because it's infused with this energy of the moon. It's a little amulet, so put it somewhere special. Another practice you can do during the full moon is the process of letting go. And think about the full moon. It's this birthing of the moon. We're washed with its light. It's this overabundance of lunar energy. It's the culmination of the lunar cycles. The perfect time to release. So find a quiet moment. Even if while you're watching this video, some things come to mind immediately, you're like, I know what I need to let go of. Write it down on a piece of paper and be very intentional, whether it's people in your life that you're like, you need to let go, even if it's difficult. It's the best thing for you. You can't have growth without a bit of shedding. Maybe you're in the cocooning stage of like a butterfly. Like butterflies in the cocoon literally turn to fucking goo before they emerge as a butterfly. So Let this be your cocooning moment. Write down the names of those people, those places, maybe a specific work or a job, maybe an apartment or a home or an environment that's just not vibing or aligning with you anymore. Maybe some habits, like if you procrastinate, if you hit the snooze button, you know, some of the things. Maybe if you stalk your ex on social media. Am I calling some people out right now? But honestly, write them all down. Put it next to your amulet and let it sit in the moonlight overnight to also energetically cleanse yourself with that lunar energy, with the moonlight. And then in the morning when you wake up, take that piece of paper and in a very safe, controlled way, using a candle or some sort of fire source, burn that paper and just let it release, let it wash away, let the ashes blow away in the wind, or even take the ashes of that paper, throw it away in a trash can outside of your home. To release those old habits and people, thoughts, things, places, let it the fuck go. Another ritual you can do is to make moon water. So similarly in how you made your amulet, you're gonna take a glass of water, and I've seen people do various things where they infuse it with herbs or crystals or anything, but if you don't have any of that, literally just a glass and some water, and again, sit it in the moonlight next to your amulet, next to that piece of paper, and speak to it and ask the moon to infuse it with its cleansing energy, its vitality, its lunar just juice, and let it sit overnight in the moonlight. In the morning, when you wake up, take that moon water on an empty stomach, sip, sip, and with each sip, legit, visualize how you're being renewed, cleansed, restored, just washed literally from the inside out with this lunar healing, nurturing energy. Also, with this moon water, you can add it to a bath. And then finally, my last tip of what you can do for the full moon, you can do a money ritual. So the full moon is thought to be abundant in energy, and the full moon can be utilized to bring abundant finances into your life. And be specific of abundant, like US dollars or yen or whatever your currency is, because you could fucking find Monopoly money. Like, so be specific. So on your windowsill, you can add a coin, maybe paper currency, a debit card, a credit card, whatever it is. Put it on your windowsill so it's also bathed in the moonlight, and ask the moon to first cleanse your money and the money energy of your life from any stagnation, any blockages, to use the lunar energy to birth abundance into your life, to cleanse out any stagnation that may be surrounding whatever that finance is in your life. Do that, and again, leave that in your windowsill overnight, and in the morning take it and say thank you to the moon and put it back in your pocket. So I hope these full moon rituals and practices helped. Please let me know in the comments if you tried any of them. Let me know if you have any full moon rituals that you do yourself. Again, this is the Cafe Coven, so I welcome any and all of your feedback and any other rituals or practices you may have. Let me know if they've worked for you. Let me know if you have any variations, any spins, and again, in the description box, because I love you, I have made a PDF of these various lunar rituals and practices that you can do. It's free 99. Take it, use it, frame it, make it the background on your computer screen. No, but for real, use it, share it with your friends, use it for any of the other upcoming full moons. You can use it whenever. If you liked this video, if you thought this video was helpful and informative, subscribe to my channel, join the Cafe Coven, leave a like, leave a thumbs up if you found any of this helpful, any of this useful, any of this informative. Please feel free to, of course, share this video with your friends, any of your other witchy friends. I'm trying to grow the Cafe Coven. So far, there's a nice little group of us in here. If you want more of me, not just here on YouTube, you can find me over on TikTok, where I'm there every morning doing coffee time, making coffee, listening to some dope ass music, vibing, answering your questions that are astrology based, Vedic astrology based, maybe pulling a little tarot here and there. If you would like to know how this full moon or any of the other transits will be affecting you, you can contact me at MISHA@thebaristawitch.com to book a reading. Also, links are in my bio for how to book a reading. I have my books open for the next few weeks, but they're starting to get full, so please get in while you can. And you can have a one-on-one reading with me where I will analyze your chart, see exactly what's going on in your chart, how the current transit is affecting your chart, pull a little tarot for you, layer it over your chart, the whole shebang. And if you want to know more about Vedic astrology, go to my bio where you can sign up for my Intro into JYOTISH course that I will be conducting with my good friend Brooke. She's another crazy witchy girl. Her knowledge is like fucking crazy. It's a 4-week course. Sign up to stay updated for any alerts. Also will be an exclusive promo code for those of you who sign up through the Cafe Coven. Just saying. And if you want even more of me, you can go to patreon.com/thebaristawitch, where I give weekly astrological reports on how the transits are affecting us, how they're affecting you based on your rising sign. I also add some tarot cards over it. It's a whole shebang. Thank you so much. I love you. And may this full moon birth abundance and joy and cleansing, healing energy into your life. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye!